And we are back. What the hell? We're back with another BS show. It's funny because I haven't even changed the title to our recording, so you guys can't really see it. What it's called?
No, you can't see it.
I can see it. But before we begin, make sure you guys do check the description below. We got some good Buzz TV products. They got some exclusive deals going on with exclusive devices. So make sure you guys get this exclusivity. Hip Hop Anonymous.
Hi. Well, ad like that. You think you're advertising Grammarly.
Yeah, I know. Make sure you guys get these deals before they're gone, and they're gone forever.
Yeah. And while you're down there, make sure to check out the link for the VPN that's down there, because that VPN that's down there is very nice, and it's got lots of features and good deals. I think it's like $1.99 right now.
Like it's cool. It's cool.
It's like cheaper than your Starbucks.
Starbucks.
So I don't know. I've been having fun playing around with it. It's got good ad blocking and parental controls. So make sure you check out the VPN link in the description below.
Yes. Yeah. You know, I was actually
Yo, this is almost a what the hell episode.
This is
it?
Kinda. It's I know we're close to our what the hell episode, but yeah, it's kind of like what the heck's going on here?
It's crazy out there.
It's crazy what's happening, like with like social media networks and like big tech companies, and like everybody's on an uproar. And you know what I noticed? I think we're in the alpha generation right now, right? Gen Alpha, is that what it is?
You're asking the wrong old man.
Well, we're millennials, apparently. After millennials, it was what, Gen Z?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're in the alpha generation.
So I'm the next generation.
So I forgot who I was talking to about this a while ago, but like Gen Z is very like made out of glass. You can't say anything. They get offended and whatever, shots fired. You guys are a bunch of, well, you know, so it's just very like you can't say nothing without offending anybody. And they just want to wipe history out of the history books. And it's like, you can't. Like, that's why Hitler took over, because he tried to wipe everything out, and everything became, well, what happened. And it's almost like rinse and repeat. Like, it's starting to happen all over again. Well, what's funny is I think my nieces have like a very good age gap between each other. I think the oldest niece is at the tail end of that Gen Z, where certain things kind of like, she's in the middle a little bit. People that are slightly older than her, yes, are in that kind of like, you know, made out of glass. You can't say anything without being offended. But like the youngest one, and this is what I mean by Gen Alpha or the Alpha Gen, whatever it's supposed to be called right now, dude. This gen are assholes, man. They don't put up with anything. They don't. So we're gonna have like all these like fairies saying, "Please don't touch me," and then the next gen that's coming up right behind him is gonna be like, "I'm gonna punch you in the face." Dude, it's nuts what's happening right now. And I think once these two gens are of age, I guess you can say, like when they're both in the work industry and stuff, it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens. But I think we're getting a taste right now. What's going on with Apple?
I don't know. I'm kind of just, it's still unfolding in my head, and I'm still doing research, but I guess we'll start off slow and then we'll pick up some steam.
Yeah.
So I'll share an article because I have one on my screen here. Present, share screen, do not show anymore. Window, here you go. So this happened last week. One dead after a vehicle crashes into a Massachusetts two shits.
How do you say that again?
Massive two shits.
Matcha two shits.
Apple store. At least one person was killed and 16 others were injured when a vehicle crashed into an Apple store. That's crazy. The incident happened around 10:45 local time. Like, that's insane. Like, you're just working, doing your job, and then boom.
Massive two shits. I'm still stuck on that.
massive two shits.
Mass of two shits.
Mass. Oh, that works too. Shit. Fuck.
Dude, that's crazy.
The driver of the car has been arrested and charged with reckless homicide by motor vehicle. Images from the scene are now a gaping hole in the store's front glass. The driver was a 53-year-old Bradley Rain, was scheduled to appear in court in the front of the store. What? The area in front of the store. But why did he do it? The dark color SUV went through at a rate of speed undetermined through the glass window and struck multiple people. It is unclear how many people. Bystanders helped to treat victims. Hospital officials said some of the people brought in were severely hurt with life-threatening injuries.
It looks like it was just an accident. Like, he was just driving like an idiot and probably lost control of the car.
Oh my God. Apparently the vehicle ended up in the storage area of the store. So he went right through the whole store. That's crazy. Yeah. Look at the picture.
And they probably, well, you know, when you look at these stores too, it's like, it's not like they have any barriers in between. They have like what, a couple tables. So I'm not surprised that he went to the back of the store, because that's probably the only wall that's there. He went through the glass and then went through the only wall that was in the back, you know? But
that's crazy.
I wonder why, you know, it almost sounds to me like he lost control of the car and he was just being an idiot and driving like a moron. And
well, it doesn't say anywhere that he was drunk. Maybe he fell asleep at the wheel and just kept accelerating.
Maybe, but it doesn't even say that. So they're probably still investigating of the why. But it's from what it sounds like, if it was something that was that's what he was going to do because he was pissed off or whatever, like, you know, you probably would have found that out pretty quick. But I don't know, he might take a couple days on, maybe he was unconscious or something when they found him. I don't know, but that's crazy.
Yeah, they didn't really say why. There's no why. There's no why. That's crazy.
Maybe he's mad because Apple's prices keep going up.
Maybe, but you know who else is mad? Yo, Apple's employees are mad.
Where is that, in China?
China. Violent clash between iPhone workers and police over unpaid bonuses, lack of food, and poor COVID-19 management. This is like a Wallapalooza going on here.
Where's that at? It looks like it's in China.
Yeah, it's in China. So it's their main factory for iPhones in China, and they're in an uproar, bro. They're like mutiny. They're not getting paid. Apparently, they're not feeding them. You got to feed your workers too,
I guess.
And then on top of that, they're just a cesspool for COVID.
Well, it's their fault. They're the ones that, well, you know.
Whoa.
I'll leave that one alone.
Jeez.
I'll leave that one alone.
Violent clashes between iPhone workers and police have been seen in the footage from Foxconn's primary iPhone assembly plant in Zhengzhou. Did I say that?
Xingzhou? It's somewhere in China.
You can see the video clips below. Workers say that the promised bonuses referred to in local reports as subsidies have not been paid, and that there is inadequate food and medical supplies for workers locked in. They're locked into the facility.
Sounds like a jail.
Oh, it's Apple. Oh, whoop. And that company is failing to properly separate infected and uninfected employees. Oh, the background.
Oh my God. Back in 2019, when COVID started in November,
the trouble began. Why is this a story? Where are we going? There was yes, I know there was a COVID-19
Yeah,
outbreak.
scroll down this crap. We don't need to know their whole 3-hour tour story.
Foxconn initially offered bonuses to persuade workers to stay, and then increased them up tenfold when this didn't work. Infections continued to spread, and the plant placed an even more stringent lockdown. Apple took the rare step of warning the iPhone 14 Pro availability would be limited. So that's why they said that. They made announcements like a month ago saying, hey, the iPhones are going to be limited. But they didn't say it's because they're locking people in their plants and not feeding them.
Full of COVID, full of diseases, dude. Like, if you think about it, like, these people are the ones putting your phones together, and if they're all sick and everything, like, that sickness is going to be on the freaking device.
It's like the Simpsons episode where they open it and COVID jumps out of a box.
Dude, that's why. See, this is exactly why when I do Instacart and I order my groceries.
Yeah.
Every time they drop the groceries, I wipe everything down with a Lysol wipe. I have a spray. I start with the Lysol wipe, and I'll wipe everything, wipe a couple things down, and then I also have a spray bottle as I'm wiping it. Then I'll start spraying it and wiping it off because yeah, you don't know, dude. You know how many times I've ordered like even dude, Uber Eats. Do you guys have that up there?
Yes.
You know how many times I've ordered Uber Eats and I'll take my food out, a burger, a burrito, or whatever, and I'm tasting cigarette. Dude, it is disgusting. I'm just like, okay, if you're a smoker, that's fine, but I don't want to take my burger out and it tastes like whatever the hell you're smoking, dude. And I'll hit up Uber, I'll hit up Instacart or whatever it is that I'm having the issue with, and that's what I say. Like, hey, look, I freaking take my food out and it smells like this. And then the funny part is can you send us a picture? Like, how am I supposed to send you a picture of the molecules that are on the freaking burger? Like, really?
Smell-o-vision. Yeah,
this is no smell-o-vision, but for those exact reasons, anytime I open up or order something or whatever, even if companies send me product, I always wipe this shit down because dude, if they're locking people in and saying all you fools got COVID, you guys are going to be locked in here while you're making these phones, and we'll feed you along the way and make sure you guys have sleep quarters and all that crap. Damn, dude, dude, it's crazy.
We had an episode last week, the Grind My Gears Part 2 episode or whatever. And like I said, you're just a number. They'll feed you when they get to it, I guess, after they lock you up. Do they really care if they feed you or not? I mean, some might say they do. But according to these reports, Apple doesn't care about you.
Well, I don't know if it's Apple. It's more of China. Like
here running the factory in China.
Right. Yeah. It's those, and let's be honest, with China being a communist country, you don't have those many rules and rights out there. So even if a company, an American, well, I don't even know how American Apple even is anymore. But even if they say, hey, you guys are going to be working in our sweatshops to build this thing, the people who are in charge are going to be Chinamen, so or wherever the factory's at, they're the ones in charge. Dude, that's crazy. That is crazy. Maybe they didn't produce like enough phones and said, cool, for every phone that you're not producing or is less, then we're going to take some food off your plate.
For every 10 iPhones you produce, you get a vaccine.
Yeah.
Wow.
To share.
Wow. So there is video footage. I'll go to the video footage in a minute, but it says the video footage shows clashes between the Foxconn workers and people in white suits.
Yeah, those are the cops.
Well, some of the reports say the white suited figures are Foxconn security. The majority describe them as police officers. It is known that both riot police and armed police officers were sent to the scene. Yeah, so they're police. In one clip, these figures can be seen kicking and stomping on someone laying on the... What the hell? In another, a police car is surrounded by protesters. One clip shows injured people in an ambulance. Other footage shows a lot of pushing and jostling between workers and police, as well as the use of batons. Some workers are also seen with sticks, smashing windows and security cameras. BBC reports heavy police deployment. That's crazy. So irate workers surrounded a downcast manager in a conference room to voice grievance and questions with their COVID test results. Yo, this would be scary. Like if you were just in this situation, this sounds scary. Okay, where's the video at? Oh, it's a YouTube video. Oh, there's two?
You gotta be careful with some of these copyright stuff.
I'll play it without sound.
Is there a way to... Let's see. Probably all the same. We'll kind of skip a little bit so we're not like watching it like the entire video.
Yo, that's a heavy police press. That's all police?
Yeah, they're not really showing anything. Oh, there's a guy asleep. He looks comfortable. Okay, so this guy's spraying some water. Everybody take a shower. Come on in. And that's it.
They're just talking. I can't, because I'm not gonna play the audio because I don't want any issues, right? But I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But like, how do you feel that the general society would react to this? Wouldn't they be blaming Apple?
They, yeah, they should be blaming Apple because of, well, it's a multiple of things. One, Apple's supposed to be an American company, isn't it?
Supposed to be.
So the first thing that people should be pissed off about is, why isn't this made in America if it's an American thing? And you know what? Again, I'm not trying to go political about crap at all, but our last president, you know, our President Trump, when he was in, this was his biggest argument, saying like things that are always made overseas and they come back like crap or whatever. And he was shutting down a lot of stuff with like China, and China was pretty pissed because it's like, dude, like our you know, the biggest import, United States. And if we're saying like, nope, if you want to do that, companies are going to have to pay a premium to do that, like US companies, unless they make it here in America, then they don't have to pay that premium. But, you know, and it's not just Trump that has said that, you know, Obama has said it. The Bushes have said it. Clintons have said it. A lot of presidents have said it. But I think that president in particular was the one that was really like saying, nope, we're closing this, we're doing this, if you like it or not. Like, you know, he pissed off a lot of people. But I would be pissed at Apple to begin with, saying like, why is this even over there overseas being made? I get it. You're trying to save a buck or two or a penny or whatever the hell it is, so that way you can maximize profit. I get that. But when stuff like that happens and you have people from their country running it, their way, their rules, their whatever it is. And if Apple is saying like, well, let's give them bonuses, let's feed them, let's do this. At the end of the day, if that country is over there is saying like, nope, we're not, we're going to keep it. The bosses are going to keep it. Can't really do much. At that point, it's kind of like, what can you do? I would be pissed off at Apple, and I wouldn't really be so pissed off at the country because Apple can't do nothing, you know?
You've been to China?
Yes.
So for a company that's running operations in different countries, especially an American company who's running operations in China, how difficult is it for them to place operation management from outside of China in China?
It's impossible.
It's impossible?
It's impossible. You can't. The thing is, okay, so I can't speak too much on this because I know a lot of people that do have companies out there and they produce a lot of stuff out there, and I've actually been on visits out there to see these companies and how it works. But the only way is if you become a Chinese citizen, if you go and you have like a work visa, like put it this way, if I go to Canada, if I'm like, hey, I'm going to go visit you, I bring my passport, I show it to them, they say, what's your business? And that's it. I could stay there as long as I want, you know? and then I can come back whenever. And like obviously you got to come back after a certain amount of time, but they don't really tell you like how much you can stay there. In China, you have 72 hours to get the hell out of the country.
How long were you there for?
70, I think.
Hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, it's very picky. The very first time I went, like when I was doing my research, it was 72 hours and get the hell out. And on top of that,
that's
you have
without
to
a
show,
visa, right?
Huh?
That's without a visa?
No, that's with my passport.
So then you would have to apply for a visa for longer stay?
You would have to apply for some sort of business, some sort of extended stay, some kind of like some sort of something, but you have to show a lot of proof. So when I went, they said that I'm allowed to stay there, but I have to have papers showing proof of where I'm staying. I have to show proof that I have money that I'm going to spend. And then the third one is I have to show proof of things that I'm going to do, an itinerary. So when I got there and I'm going through their immigration, here's my hotel. Here is I had an envelope with is it one?
Yeah.
So I had their currency. I had a wallet with their currency. And then I showed them my itinerary of what I'm doing every day, at what times, and I even showed them my tickets for certain things that I'm doing. So when I'm going to Tiananmen Square, where I'm going to the Temple of Heaven, where I'm going to the Great Wall of China, when I'm going to their freaking flea market, their fish market, dude, like everything. I was like, this, here's all my tickets. Here's this. Here's my freaking my cab driver here, like everything. And literally, I got there. They stamped it, and they said when I come back, I have to make sure that I have my exit stamp, because if I want to come back again, they look for that if I'm using that exact same passport, because they look through your book, like, where have you been? And I had a couple of them in there, you know, like Hong Kong, Japan, El Salvador. Like I had a couple of them, and they were asking me questions like, why were you there? Why were you there? Why were you there? Why were you there? So now for the business side of things, I think they give you, I want to say it's like 3 months. They give you a 3 months maximum stay if you're going there as like, a business.
Apple is the world's largest company. Well, maybe outside of China. Maybe there's something bigger in China, right? I'm not sure. But Huawei. You would think that they have some kind of pull. So I think that if Apple wanted to have more influence over how their factories were run, they could figure that shit out.
I don't think so. I like China's laws are not America's problem, and America's laws are not China's problems. So if you know, there's always been that joke like, oh yeah, they're going to go over there to China and open up a sweatshop and have a bunch of like 8-year-old kids work on making jackets or sweaters or whatever. You know, it's always been that joke because they can get away with it. And there's nothing that the United States can do to punish those people if they're going to India or China or wherever they're going to get it done.
It's almost like a social responsibility then. Like as a company, if you can't control the morality of how your business is being run in another country, then don't go to that country.
Well, yeah, that's why a lot of people boycott things. It's exactly why people say, like, you know what, I'm going to boycott Apple or I'm going to boycott whatever, because this is what they're doing.
You would think as Apple, though, like you would understand that that's going to have a social media backlash, that your brand is treating people like this, even if you don't have control. It's still your name.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I say that the backlash of all of this that's happening with Apple shouldn't be against China, because whatever their laws and rules of the land is, that it is what it is there. We cannot we could contemplate here and say like, damn, that sucks that they're not feeding them. Damn, that sucks that they're locking them in. Damn, that sucks. It doesn't matter if it's here in the States and or Canada or wherever, then it's something a little bit different. People here, see, here's the thing. People are so brainwashed with certain things like Apple that it doesn't matter how good anything else can be. An Apple phone's always going to be better than a Samsung. Apple TV is going to be better than anything. The Apple TV 4K box is going to be the best device since sliced bread. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Once you're in that ecosystem, you are so sucked into it that, dude, something from outer space could come in and they could be like, nope, Apple's still better. You know what I mean?
Just crazy. It's crazy. So there's more and more news that just keeps coming up. And like this whole episode's about Apple, so I'm sorry. So that riot and that protest happened last night, right? There's a dude by the name of Phil Schiller. He is an Apple exec. He's a senior Apple executive who runs the company's app store and deleted his Twitter account the day before this riot.
That tells me that this riot's been going on more than just the day before.
And they knew about it.
Yeah.
Like, he's the guy that, like, he does a lot of keynotes for Apple. Like, he'll go up and he'll speak about the products, but it says that he's deleting his Twitter because he's upset or dissatisfied with Musk's freewheeling style since taking over the San Francisco-based media company. The move by Phil, the company's former head of marketing, who's currently an Apple fellow, raised eyebrows among tech reporters and observers, given Apple's enormous clout over the Twitter's app reach and distribution. So if this guy is in charge of Apple's App Store and he's shutting down his personal Twitter account, a lot of people are scared that they're going to remove Twitter from the actual Apple App Store.
Imagine.
You imagine the amount of uproar. Like, there's so many worthy causes, but you take away this generation's social media account and everyone loses their shit.
And it's funny, it says, this is the Twitter account Elon Musk should be worried most about losing. And that's quoted by a Verge reporter, which this is where it's coming from. If Schiller has sounded on how Elon Musk is running Twitter, that is potentially very bad news for Musk. See, here's the thing. They're scared because Elon Musk is trying to open it up where there is freedom of speech. What if people started tweeting about how Apple is treating their workers overseas? And you know what? Let's make it even juicier. Let's just say, I'm over here saying that there's no way that China will allow an American to fully run a business the American way in China, right? But let's just say that China did allow an American or Americans to run it however they see fit. And this whole situation wasn't because of
Twitter,
China citizens.
Wow.
It's because of American citizens that are treating those employees like that. You know how crazy that would be?
Oh, that would be a big scandal. And now these people are deleting their Twitter accounts so they don't get tagged.
Yeah.
And threatening to remove the app from the App Store if they leak the information. This whole conspiracy.
Exactly.
Woo-hoo.
Exactly. Imagine they're like, you know what? Like, nah, we don't want this freedom of speech crap. What is this, America? Imagine, dude, that would be insane if that is exactly what is going on right now. Because at the end of the day, it's very easy. Exactly what I just said. It's very, very easy to say, hey, the companies in China whatever is happening in China, I don't know how they run their company, but it's the Chinese fault. It's yeah, exactly. Put a little thing over your head. That's the problem. It'll be China's fault. But if it wasn't, and if it was the Americans that were doing this and taking advantage of that system and saying like, you know what, yeah, let's go ahead and whip everybody, or let's go ahead and dude, imagine.
That's crazy. I mean, I ain't saying nothing, but there's been whole islands of situations that's been covered up. Whole islands.
Oh, absolutely.
and we're talking about some of the world's richest publicly known people. There's a lot more people with a lot more money that aren't publicly known, but we're talking about a lot of people with a lot of big money that can hide some shit. So, I mean, there's nothing that's too far-fetched. Honestly, there isn't. When it comes to like billions of dollars, there's nothing. Apple was, I'm not sure if it still is, but was a $2 trillion company. So we're talking about trillions here. That's very influential. To influence certain things to happen or not to happen, or to say and not to say. And man, so it says failure to adhere to Apple and Google's guidelines would be
catastrophic. Hip Hop Anonymous,
right?
Catastrophic.
Risking Twitter's expulsion from their app stores. Why did they include Google? What? No, let's not talk about Google right now. Expulsion from the app stores and making it more difficult for billions of potential users to get Twitter services. This gives Apple and Google enormous power to shape the decision Twitter makes.
All he's saying is there is, like, Apple and Google have their own guidelines. It's, you know, like YouTube, they have their own terms of service,
and
you know, and if Twitter says, well, no, this is a freedom of speech social media application that anybody can say anything at whatever given time, obviously there's going to be certain things that they're going to also censor, you know, for certain things. But
then I guess Elon Musk needs his own app store, and then he needs his own phone. He's got 100 million followers on Twitter. You imagine if he came out with his own app store and his own phone?
Wasn't he working on a cell service that was going to be like a lot cheaper or free or something?
He's already got Starlink. That's pretty much a cell service.
Yeah.
Run everything over data. Who needs big clunky cell phone towers?
Yeah, because his was through the satellites.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be more reliable?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. This is crazy. Mastodon. That's another social media platform that's new. But it says Mastodon seems like honey trap for hall monitor personality types. Honestly, Elon gets all the hall monitors to migrate. What? Okay, this is going off the rails. I'm just saying that was a whole big conspiracy theory, and a whole bunch of stuff is going on. So there's that happened. This was posted by Disclosed TV. Who is Disclosed TV? Disclosed TV has 1.1 million followers on Twitter, observing world events unfold in the grand theater of our time. That's an interesting tagline. You know what? Oh, I'll follow you after. This isn't my account. Yeah, I want to follow these guys. They sound interesting. Whoa. An hour ago, U.S. sends another 400 million in weapons to Ukraine. Yeah, that should be interesting. Anyways, going back to the tweet that I just saw. So this is where I seen it. Justin Phil Schiller, responsible for Apple's App Store, has deactivated his verified Twitter account, according to The Verge. That's where I saw it, and then I went looking for more information. And then this guy, Kyle Becker, who is a producer and a writer for Fox News. I think he's been on Timcast, Blaze TV, OANN, and The Rubin Report, and Newsmax. Yeah, he's been on all those. So he's like a news reporter. So he says, so is Apple really willing to tell tens of millions of Twitter users to piss off for wanting the app because the App Store's infantile manager doesn't like Americans having different opinions than him? Really? That's how Apple wants to roll?
Wow.
So now it's a whole back and whoa. Wow.
Live shot of Apple CEOs.
Yo, Twitter is great. It's so funny sometimes, man. But it's crazy. So I thought it was interesting. So the day that this happened, Apple stock went up like $2-3, like just straight up. Like, I don't understand how this market works. Like, you would think news like that would make shit go down, but it always is a reverse effect. Look, here's another video of the inside. That's a lot of people. And they're mixing them with infected people and non-infected people. Right?
That's China, yeah.
That's crazy.
That guy's got blood on his face.
Big disgrace.
Oh, man. All right, get out of there.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy, dude. I think things are gonna get exposed. What was it when a couple years ago where there's a lot of CEOs that were like quitting? They were leaving companies, and then later on things are being exposed about stuff about them.
Yeah. But look, they're not even waiting. They're adding 53,000 jobs to his plant in India. So it's like, oh, shit's going down. Well, never mind. We'll just move. We'll shift business over here.
Yeah, until they piss them off too.
That's crazy.
That's nuts, dude. That's nuts. All right, get out of there.
Kanye West says Apple Pay froze his bank account.
Fuck Kanye West. I'm done with Kanye. Kanye is an idiot.
You know, I was listening to a podcast, and what they were saying is that Kanye is used in the media to distract you of something else. So every time something else big is going on and the media doesn't want you to know about it, they put Kanye West in front of you. You know what Kanye West is? Kanye West is this generation's of Ja Rule.
Oh my gosh, I can't stand Ja Rule too. That's another fool.
Because like every time shit was going down, like Dave Chappelle said it. Let's see what Ja Rule has to say. Who cares what Ja Rule has to say?
Yeah. Oh man, you think aliens are coming?
I think we're already here. I mean, they're already here.
We're already here. Oh yeah, hold on.
Oh my god.
You started it.
Yeah, you started with the conspiracy talks. It's the nice hat I made. I like this hat.
So I don't know what the hell is going on with Apple. I think as Twitter is kind of like unfolding and figuring out whatever it is that they're trying to do, I think.
Well, right now there's a giant flex in all different directions because the companies are trying to flex on Twitter, but I think Twitter's starting to realize like we ain't nothing to F with. Like we are a beast in our own sense. We can make or break your companies too. So it's like, yeah, obviously we want your companies on here, but like there's going to be a lot of smoke and fire until we figure out some kumbaya bullshit. And I think a lot of people are going to get called out in this. A lot of people from all different things.
You know what I could see happening too? Ooh, and this would be good, man. This would be so good. Sure, if Apple decides to say, hey, you know what? We're taking the Twitter app out of our store and screw you hippies. Dude, you know how easy it is to turn a website to know if you're on a cell phone, and if you use their web browser, it could still look like you're using an app in a web browser format. Mm-hmm. It's not hard. And for them to say like, well, guess what? We're going to kick you out of the App Store. Elon could say like, that's fine. Hey, you know what? If anybody's using Twitter on a web browser on any phone, we don't care what it is. If it recognizes that you're on a cell phone and not on a computer, then make it look like an app. Make it look like this.
Apple has a very easy way of doing that. They make bookmarks look like applications with icons, and it looks really good. But what if Apple starts blocking certain websites on your phone? Do you think they would ever do that?
No, because Apple doesn't have their own network.
Like, yeah, but the browser's their browser. It's Safari browser.
Does Apple own Safari?
Yeah. It's their shit.
The only way I can see that happening is if their browser, Safari, but then even then, like you can get the Google, you can get the Google Chrome on Apple, can't you?
Yeah, but then they could also boot it from the App Store.
Exactly. You know how like they're gonna have to boot everything that has any kind of web browser or whatever related. That's like the only way.
This
and
is
then
gonna get so messy if it goes down this route. I'm just saying.
And they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna piss off that many people. Like it's literally like they're gonna piss off Firefox. They're gonna try to piss off Google. Imagine if they piss off Google would be like, cool, we're taking YouTube out.
But I'm kind of surprised that Apple doesn't have their own social media website yet. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. Like they could build in things like iCloud and iMessage and like everything else into an easy social media platform where your iMessage is built into it, so it's as simple as sending text messages is all part of the experience. Like their whole ecosystem would just make sense to have some kind of social media aspect. And if we keep going down this route where Twitter's pushing back, I could see them developing their own social media place to keep you locked in.
Yeah, and everybody who's anti-Apple, no one's going to use it. Like the only people that might use it.
But there's a lot of people that like Apple.
But that's the thing. All those Apple users, they're not going to jump on this new social media platform just because it's exclusive to Apple. Because
if you bake it in to the operating system, you don't really realize you're using it. Like, for instance, like the Fire TV operating system. That's Android OS, but you don't really realize it's Android OS because everything's just baked in. Like Prime Video in the Fire TV OS. You don't really realize you're using Prime Video because it's baked into the whole operating system.
Yeah, but you're talking about like a social media network that you're going to want to try to communicate with friends and family or follow celebrities or personalities or content creators or whatever it is.
Yeah,
that's a little bit different because if even if they bake it in and say, hey, we're gonna have this area here where you can get your news and people could put tweets or whatever they want to, shout outs or whatever they want to call them. Like, I don't think people are going to really take it serious because they're going to be like, hey, where's Rojas at? I don't see Rojas here. Like, I like my family. I have a lot of family members that use Apple.
Yeah.
They will not jump on it because of that simple. Like they have a hard time right now jumping on Facebook or Instagram, and we're all on there and they'll post things here and there every now and then. But putting something that's just baked in there just to say, hey, here's a recipe, or here's my travel vlog, or here is a picture of me picking my nose, whatever it is. If it's something like that, it becomes so unique. Like some of these websites that people like, unless you're a fan of CNN, you're not going to CNN. If you're a fan of Fox, if you're not a fan of Fox, you're not going to go there, and you're not going to sign up to their newsletters. You're not going to sign up to their push notifications. You're not going to sign up for any of that stuff. And even if they have it, dude, there's this thing here. Oh, and of course my thing's locked and I got to put my whole password in here. There's this thing on these cell phones that if you swipe all the way over, you get all these news things that's baked inside your phone. Dude, I never go here. Well, this is like the stupidest thing. I come here and it tells me
the
like
Samsung thing when you swipe left.
Yeah,
I turn that shit off. I'm like, get out of here.
Exactly.
But that's because they're not as good as baking things into the operating system as Google and Apple or Amazon.
But see, that's and like I'm just going through it, and I'm just like I've seen it before. It gives me some of my sports. It gives me my sports teams that I'm already signed up to. It gives me reports about Disney. I like Disney. It gives me stuff about some other sports, some Disney, some Marvel, some stuff about my local area, dude. Some Grand Canyon, some hikes, some fitness, everything that I want. It's right there. But I never go in here because I think it's stupid. I'm like, why do I want to go there and just scroll through nonsense? I don't go to Facebook or Instagram to scroll through nonsense to begin with. You know what I mean? Oh man, look at this girl.
Hi, Bella. How are you?
Her birthday was yesterday. She just turned 2.
You should put your tongue in his mouth.
Oh man, don't do it.
For anyone who's listening to the audio, I might be talking about a dog. I might not be.
Okay, get down. Okay, get down. Okay. Yeah. No, get down. She gets so excited. So, I don't know. I think even if they baked that thing into the system, I think she's more excited about my glasses. Dude, what are you doing? Holy crap. Get down. Get down. No. Yeah, she's more excited about these glasses. I got to take them off because she's like, what the hell is that?
Oh, she's like, what the hell's on your head?
Yeah. There, it's off. It's off. No. Get down. Get down. So anyway. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Put your conspiracy theories in the comment section below.
Yeah, I think if Twitter decides, or if Apple decides to cut Twitter off and do this whole, like, dude, how many things have they've been fighting with Fortnite, with Epic Games, they've been fighting with weren't they fighting with Google at one point? I don't know. It's going to become one of those, Apple's going to become like one of those other phones that people never talk about anymore, or a company that people never talk anymore. If this is the avenue that they're going to take, because if they cut off like Google, YouTube, everything that YouTube owns, everything that Google owns, yeah, man, I don't know. Like it's already a pain in the butt to get certain apps on your Apple devices, but
you imagine the ecosystems become more than software. I'm just, because I'm still wearing the tinfoil hat. So like the ecosystem war becomes so big that those of you who live in a certain software ecosystem end up in a physical ecosystem away from everyone else who uses a different software ecosystem. Like everybody who uses Bixby ends up living on the moon. And then you have people who use Google end up on Mars. I'm just saying, like, there's
dude, it'll be nuts. I don't know. I think everything that they're doing is just, I don't know. And I know there's going to be some comments out there. Two guys that are anti-Apple talking about Apple. It's just, we're talking about the news of what's happening. I'm
not anti-Apple. I'm
anti-Apple.
I like their devices. I like what they do. And just like with everything else, there's pros and cons. And for this moment in my life, I don't own any Apple products, but I do have interest in owning some for the things that they do well at. There are things that they do very well at. There are.
Yeah.
At this moment in my life, I use a plethora, whatever. Hip hop. I use a plethora of different devices, all on the same days. Sometimes multiple cell phones, like all different kinds of stuff. So right now, I can say that I would like to use Apple devices, but not as my main device. But as I incorporate them one day into my arsenal of tech versatility, then it could lead me to a day when I use Apple devices more than other devices. I don't know what the future holds. I try not to be, biased. I try to be as open-minded as I can. And like I said, right now I am interested in certain things because they do certain things, certain features better than other devices or companies, and other companies do certain things better than them. So I try to appreciate innovation and, tech in general. I try to. Because let's be real, without Apple, we wouldn't have seen all the innovations of Android. We wouldn't have. There had to be that back and forth. There had to be bars being set on both sides in order for us to get the innovations that we've gotten.
Yep. Yeah, well, this is the end of the episode. A lot of crap out there, a lot of uncertainties that are about to happen within Apple crapple. And yeah, if you no longer see them in Twitter, for those of you guys who do, actually, for those of you guys who don't have Twitter, you guys probably don't really care. But if these guys do start taking things out, like Twitter or like some of these other bigger apps, it's gonna be really bad for a lot of different people, and mainly a lot of sectors in Apple. You know, a lot of stuff with digital reporters, content creators, like exposing some of this stuff, if you want to call it like that, or shedding some light on things that are happening. Just keep your eyes and ears open, because you never know. And all this stuff that's happening, I'll say this: if you're getting an iPhone 14 anytime soon, make sure you wipe it down. If it's coming from, we know where it's coming from, so wipe it down. Get some Lysol wipes. So yeah, always appreciate you guys coming. Happy holidays. I can't believe it's already end of the year. And yeah, it's crazy. Next, what do you got before we go?
I just requesting some commentary down below of other conspiracy theories and other feelings about Apple. Like, let us know what you guys think. Try to take your biases of your preference of devices and just talk about, the actual company itself, about the situation of it removing apps and stuff like that, of their CEOs or executives deleting their accounts on social media. I'd like to hear more about your guys' thoughts and opinions on how it's moving as a company versus the tech itself at the moment. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching and listening to another episode of Beyond the Streams. Wherever you are watching, even if it's from the great beyond, make sure you leave us a comment or a review so other people and aliens can find the content that you enjoy. Make sure you turn on that notification, hit that like and subscribe, so no matter if you're on this world or another, you can stay up to date with all the latest content, because you never know where the conversation is going to go, and you never know who or what we might have on. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.